more energy in your life, I have a wild idea. How about instead of doing more, you do less? How about instead of starting new stuff, you stop the stuff that's eating your energy alive? Because listen, in the past year or so, I have quit some things and my life feels so much lighter because of it. Hey, I am Sass Schaefer, and this is Practice Your Positive Daily, where we train our energy like a muscle. We get these reps in, big resets, big changes, starting with little daily actions. Positivity isn't a mood, it's a muscle, and we are here to use it so we don't lose it. And today we're talking about why some of the biggest energy shifts come from taking things off your plate instead of always adding more. All right, story time. You know how people, me included, always talk about new habits to start? HIIT classes and cold plunges and journaling and meal prepping and blah, blah, blah. And listen, it's great stuff. It's great stuff. But also, I realized there were things that I was spending my time on that were quietly draining me. So I quit them. And then I felt lighter and happier and way more focused on the actual stuff that matters. And oh, by the way, I actually had some energy to try in and add in some of those other healing modalities and other good things. All right. So I have three examples, and then we'll get into why these are big takeaways. One, I stopped with my house. Okay, easy for me to say. I was homeless. I lost it in a flood. But even before I lost it the second time, I downshifted how much energy I spent into making the house look perfect, right? Like it just dawned on me that the house looks like a 10 and I look like a 2. Like that makes zero sense. And honestly, the only people who see my house are like me and my kiddo and some friends. And if my friends don't like me because I have laundry out, well, they're probably not the best friends anyway, right? So I stopped obsessing over my house always being picture perfect. I don't want to be on Better Homes and Gardens. I don't need to be an Architectural Digest. I'm just trying to keep it tidy and cute and cozy. So my house is clean, but it's not always super tidy. And nobody died. Like, there's not this magic checklist that I showed up on the naughty list. Like, my house is clean enough. So I just stopped spending all that time obsessing over it. All right, number two. This is a big one for girlies and for women, and I get it, but I stopped obsessing over my look so much. Like, I used to chase always the perfect hair, the newest trend, the best shade of brunette, the newest fall skin color, the blah, blah, blah. And listen, media will just keep you perpetually buzzing to look for the new best thing. And instead of spending so much energy scrolling and looking and the perfect shade and mushroom brown, root beer brown, blah, 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 I just accepted like, this is what I look like. My hair's a little brassy. Sometimes it's a little frizzy. I live in Florida. It's just the way it is, right? Like, this is what I look like. The constant reinvention, new products, it's really just a mask for my own insecurity. It wasn't something that I was even really enjoying or taking like pleasure in. And so some of that time, listen, I still do a lot of skin prep and skincare, but like that's more healthy and long term as opposed to just like, ooh, fix myself with makeup, fix myself with hair. I think there's a real fine balance for me, at least, between enjoying expressing myself and being a woman and enjoying my beauty, but also not trying to like make up for it or not coming from a place of insecurity. All right. And number three, and this one is huge. I stopped being the detective for everyone else's behavior. Respectfully, a lot of us could host a 3-day TED talk on what does this text mean? Did he sent this or she sent that or my boss said this. I don't really care. Like I just don't have the energy to care that much. If someone texts back in 2 hours or 4 hours, okay, whatever, right? If they don't text back at all, okay, whatever. I'm still focused on living my life, not trying to figure out what somebody meant. And if I want to know what somebody meant, then I just say, "Hey, what did you mean? Hey, that sounded weird." Or, "Hey, did I read this wrong?" Just checking in on it. Like even with sometimes backhanded compliments, it happened a while ago where somebody said something to me. I was in a group and we walked away and someone was like, "That wasn't a very nice thing to say to you." And I was like, like it didn't even touch me. I didn't even notice because I have a whole life to run that has nothing to do and no time for figuring out what this person meant or what they said or what it could mean. Just none of that. So my three big takeaways from my life for your life would be this. Number one, perfection is a trap and it's stealing your energy. Whether that's a perfectly tidy house or a perfectly tidy hair or whatever it is, chasing that perfection just can leave you exhausted and cranky, and you feel like no one's even noticing all this effort. But that's because they didn't even need all this effort. They really just wanted the authentic you, or you just want a space that's cozy. So let good enough be good enough. All right, number two, looks can't be a full-time job. Listen, like I'm not a model. Like I don't need to look perfect. I'm not a model. I'm a dietitian. I'm a dialysis director. I'm a podcast host, whatever, right? Like looks can't be my full-time job. There's a big difference between taking care of yourself and making yourself a never-ending, never good enough project. And so while I spent years chasing the perfect hair color, the perfect style, it perfect for what? Like it didn't even get me anywhere. I still love my skincare, but I stopped obsessing over every new product and every new reinvention of myself. That's really just capitalism and patriarchy trying to keep us stuck. So a big fat no to making looks my full-time job. And number three, I would suggest that you don't take on other people's behavior as your homework. You don't have to play detective about why somebody didn't text back or what they really meant. And I get it. Like for a lot of us, I know for me, that came from a place of like the way that I grew up. I had to scan my parents, behavior all the time to see like, ooh, are they mad? Should I be quiet? Can I talk? It comes from a place of survival and really safety, like a core safety wound that I had that I grew up with and I carried in my personal life. But once I started unpacking that and healing from that, boom, so much time and energy and just mental freedom that came with not having to be the detective for what everybody meant. People's half efforts, backhanded compliments, it just has no space in my life. I just don't even notice it. Just take that energy back and use it for things that actually fuel you up and actually make you feel better. All right. Kind of a personal one today, but I think there's some nuggets in there. So positive of the day, because I love to give you a challenge. This is not just about listening to it. It's about doing it. 1 point for saying it, 10 points for doing it. So the positive of the day is pick one thing that you've been overdoing and just stop for a day, for a week. See what happens when you let good enough be good enough, whether it's how perfect the house is or your yard or your hair or figuring out what other people mean. Just stop and see what happens. You might find out that it gives you a big boost of energy by taking something away. All right. Good one today, super short, but I know you get the point. We could all use sometimes someone to tell us to do less. So I'm telling you right now, do less, feel better, have more energy. That is practice your positive today. Little reps, little resets, big energy, big momentum. Mwah. I love you. Stay in the game. Keep practicing your positive. Do one thing less, and I'll see you next time. Hey, it's Sass. Before you go away, do me a solid. Hit all those buttons. Subscribe, download, share, and talk to me in the comments. All right, stay in the game and keep practicing your positive. Drink some water, you look thirsty. Did you eat a vegetable today? Did you eat a vegetable yesterday? How about going to the gym? You go to the gym today? Yoga later? Ooh, a little bedtime yoga later?